And here we have the fabled teal in his natural habitat. Look at how graceful aspects of his room is, and how, quite frankly, pathetic he looks. You can see he's just sitting there, not really doing anything, because he's a lazy piece of shit. How about instead, you just get up off your ass and make the top 10 video? Alright! Jesus fucking Christ. Hello everyone and welcome to my top 10 games of 2016. What a year it has been! We've had some amazing games this year. As always, this is my list, my opinions. If a game you like isn't on this list, it might be because I either just didn't like it, or I might not have played it. Overwatch is one of them. I haven't had a chance to play it, can't actually play it, my internet doesn't like online games. But yeah, so that might be why. Anyway, on to the list. Shantae HalfGenie Hero. WayForward danced through the danger on their way forward to produce this game as a Kickstarter project. One of the few examples that a Kickstarter project can succeed. This is a fantastic 2D platformer. It succeeds in many ways, but probably its greatest success is that it's just really fun. It's just a fun game. Yes, the art style is gorgeous, yes, the music is enticing, yes, the design, gameplay and bosses are awesome, but it's just so much fun. It's relatively short, sweet, and I want to play it again. Uncharted 4 is undoubtedly a fantastic Fantastic game. No, I joke, but it is. It's action-packed. No, really, the action sequences are fiercely intense. Some of the most intense I've ever played. It tells an incredible story, as you'd expect from Naughty Dog, and let's be honest here, it's one of the most beautiful looking games ever made. Also, I have to give a shout out to the actors for creating such realistic conversations. I've seen scenes travelling to places fail miserably, but these incredible talents have been able to create such realism and I love it. Truly top bants, mate. I hadn't played much of Twilight Princess before the HD release, but I can say with confidence that it's now my favourite Zelda game. Incredible, unforgettable dungeons, epic bosses, a gorgeous land to explore, and a seriously dark story. I'm as hyped for Breath of the Wild as everyone else, but I would love to see them go down a darker route again. It was a fascinating change of pace. Inside was insane. It was so twisted and bizarre and so bloody intense. It's not a particularly long game, but it's not a single second that's boring. From start to finish, you're on the edge of your seat, inches from death. And that's not an exaggeration. Every single scenario is set up that if you hesitate even for a second, you die. And that was not only terrifying, but really impressive. I can't imagine how long it took to set up the perfect scenario each and every time. Also, did I mention that the story was fucked up? My god. I highly recommend playing purely to experience fear and a lot of confusion. It's a pretty wild ride. Nearly a decade in the making, we have what I consider the most beautiful looking pixel art ever created. Owlboy is a brilliant, heart-wrenching story of a mute owl called Otis. He has reasons for doing what he does, and others will put him down for it. He can't defend himself though, and you really feel for him. But that's not the best part of this game. Arguably, while still an amazing factor, it's the worst part. The controls are flawless, the world is memorable and gorgeous, the dungeons are extremely good fun and varied, and the story! My god! There's quite a few twists that will catch you off guard, one of which you'll be like, wait, oh my god! Seriously, play it, it's great. Welcome to the beginning of a new era. An era of recreating classics from the ground up, and I love it. Ratchet Clank PS4 was recreating the original Ratchet Clank with differences here and there to match the movie based around the duo. I'll be honest, there were a couple of things I wish happened, there were a couple of my favourite levels from the original removed, but the retelling of the original story, with differences, was really entertaining. The combat was awesome as always, and holy shit, look how beautiful it looks! The graphics were phenomenal. It's It's incredible that we can get games looking like this now, and it really excites me for the future. Give me a new Ratchet game. New story, villains, planets, weapons, and action. It'll be glorious! It's a new Pokemon game, of course it'll be on the list. This time they actually changed quite a lot. No more HMs, no more gyms, just 80 new stunning looking Pokemon, very bizarre Alolan forms of Gen 1 Pokemon, a compelling story, a lush set of islands to explore, and arguably the best evil team in the series. Yo, it's my boy Guzma, what up? So as I said, no more gyms. This was a thing I was worried about before playing, because I thought the game would suffer as a result. Instead, you take part in trials. These can range from taking out a couple of Pokemon before a boss Pokemon, to playing a game of Spot the Difference. And every trial was so varied and unique, interspersed with everything else going on, that it actually worked really well. That said, honestly I really miss gyms. Especially since the gyms from the last few games have been really fun and creative. This game really fixed a lot of problems that X and Y had though. It didn't feel boring at times, and there was a post-game. X and Y's post-game was absolutely pathetic. This game had like 10 legendaries. That is awesome, that is what I want to see. Lots to do once I'm done with the main game. Also, may I just say that the Moon Legendary Lunala is one of the coolest looking Pokemon ever made. It is freaking glorious. Before I stop talking about this game, let us never forget Alolan Executor, which is a dragon, believe it or not. Oh, and the L'Oreal advert. They're pretty great. Also, special shout out to my boy Guzma! Yo. We've had some truly fantastic games so far. So what's good enough to take out titans like Pokemon and Uncharted? An indie game called Hyper Light Drifter. Wow, where do I begin? Well, it's pixel art, and much like Owlboy, it's some of the most impressive, gorgeous pixel art I've ever seen. The lore and story is fascinating. Unless you're observant, it might be hard to actually work out what's going on, but the lore is scattered around this incredible world, and it's really deep, and you'll definitely be invested if you give it your attention. Oh, yeah, the world. Wow, it's... wow. You'll travel across, battling creatures, traversing platforms, dying to bosses, but along the way you'll see remnants of these giants, and just wow. It's not just stunning, it's actually breathtaking. It's so clever because these literal stop you in your track moments are in between enemy battles, so you can literally stop and appreciate it in awe, instead of just glance as you try to survive. The combat is just art. You're limited to stamina, but your sword slashes are so precise and deadly, and you have such variety of weapons as you progress that your playstyle has been considered. Not to mention how great the dash ability is. It's all about getting a rhythm as you upgrade it to dash endlessly, but once you understand it, it is the best feeling. The level of genuine care and detail put into everything is incredible, and although the game is tough, don't go into it thinking it will be easy. It's an absolute blast, and I truly recommend it. After a whole decade and many changes later, Final Fantasy 15 is finally out. And what a game it is. To say the combat is flawless is an understatement. This game asks you to gradually perfect it, but once you do, you will be incredibly powerful, and you'll still get your ass kicked. And it's the best feeling, it really is. This game isn't easy, not even close, but it's immensely satisfying. Every attack must be carefully used, and you've got to learn when to stop and block. And there's so many weapons, each with their own playstyle to learn. And then there's magic, which not only damages the enemies, but your friends and the terrain around you and yourself. And my god, it's just so fucking beautiful! It really caters to everyone. This is the story of Prince Noctis, who's on his way to marry Princess Lunafreya, but not before the war constantly going on escalates and throws everything out of balance. I personally loved this story. I know it has its flaws here and there, but our villain is really menacing, and everything that ended up happening was actually quite powerful. The bond Noctis shares between his friends as they travel is really quite incredible. I talked about how the conversations in Uncharted felt fluid and realistic, and well, Final Fantasy does it way better. I don't really know what impresses me more, the fact that the combat is so flawless, the fact that the game creates immensely impressive and in some cases fucking huge bosses, or if the post-game is just so damn big. Like, you'll spend 25 to 30 hours playing the main game, but the extra content consists of like 5 times that. There's just so much to do and explore, and you'll want to explore it all. You'll want to get more powerful and take on the biggest beasts that roam our land. You'll die many times in the process, but you want to. Seriously, this game is 100% worth it, and Square Enix have said they're going to add various things based on fan feedback in the coming year. New Game Plus has just been added, some new cutscenes, and eventually, potentially a God mode will be added. I can't wait, I really can't. $4 million fucking dollars! I'm crying harder than an anime fan on prom night. Holy fucking shit, I love this game. It makes me just glitter and ugly fire. What the fuck is this shit? This game. Do you know what I love most about this game? It's that... Come at me, YouTube heroes, I dare ya!
Now look at this net that I just net. When I say net, be ready to net. Net. Throw it on net, not net. Oh, let's look at this net that I just found.
Okay, no messing around. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE. I love this game so much. This is basically Shin Megami Tensei combined with Fire Emblem. It's a weird idea, but a pretty winning formula. First off, let me talk about the premise. You are one of the few people who can seem to withstand the darkness for stealing the performer, their talent I guess, from people. With this, you get recruited by a talent agency, which is actually a secret group trying to stop these creatures from stealing people's performer. Yeah, it's weird. It's brilliant though. Each of these people are pretty talented singers, so they end up going into this industry, and the music, whilst Japanese, is absolutely glorious. Oh, right, yeah. The audio is Japanese, the text is English. Please don't let that put you off. The game is fantastic. If you like Persona at all, you'll love this. The story is occasionally predictable at times, but like Persona, there are the equivalent of social links with each character, and each of them is either deep and moving or absolutely hysterical, as the cast of characters really are unique. I said as soon as I saw the dungeons, if Persona 5's dungeons are half as good, then I'll love it. Well, Persona 5's dungeons are 10 times as good as these ones, but these dungeons are incredible. They're not randomly generated, they have structure and a purpose, and they actually do some really interesting things. You can be in a photography studio where you have to stay out of the sight of stationary cameras or you get sent back to the beginning of the room, or you could be in a house of dolls where you move through the sleeves in their arms and you have to manipulate what position their arms are. The dungeons were just really fun and creative, and I loved that. Okay, the combat. The combat is fantastic, as you'd expect. Each weapon is tied to a Fire Emblem character, and it gives you various upgrades as you level them up. These upgrades can be added to your character, and with it you can do some seriously cool moves. But it wasn't that the enemies and bosses were fun to fight that impressed me most about it all. It was the session moves. You perform a move, say for example fire. If the enemy is weak to it and your party has a follow-up attack to that move, they will also attack in quick succession without using up their turn. This is even better because it fixes an issue with almost every RPG. When it comes to party members, you'll have 3 or 4, and then you'll get to a point where you just don't care about one of them and switch them out forever, and they'll be stuck at like level 12 whilst everyone else is 50. Well, eventually as the story progresses, you can upgrade your characters, even ones who aren't in your party, to take part in sessions, which means you can do 7-hit combos, or more, depending if you get an RNG singing move that deals severe damage only to let you set up the combo again. This fixes that flaw. I can use my entire team without all of them being with me, and I loved it. In a game where it emphasises the idea of connecting with your friends, it doesn't let you discard them, and it's genius. Yeah, it might just be that I'm pining for Persona 5, but this was a seriously great game. Very underrated as well. You'll have a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, and maybe you'll struggle along the way too, because it's certainly not a cakewalk, even with all the bonus attacks that it gives you. It's a shame the Wii U is dying, because, let's face it, it is, but if you own a Wii U and this interests you, there is no reason not to pick it up. It also didn't sell too well, and I actually really want a sequel. But you should buy it though. It's not only a truly phenomenal game, but it's my game of the year. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know, that was probably a surprise #1, but yeah, it was interesting. I thought it was a really good game. Tell me, what was your #1 game of the year? There's been so many amazing ones, and 2017 looks to be even better. I can't wait for next year. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.